Hi and welcome to this video. In this video I'm going to show you how to soak and cut mosaic tiles ready for use. So you can see here we've got two different kinds of tiles. We've got a ceramic tile and we've got a glass tile, and to cut those you can use either a normal tile cutter. These ones will cut both ceramic and glass and they're readily available in most building supply merchant shops. And then here we've got some wheeled tile cutters. Now these are a little bit more hard to find, but you should be able to find them in your local tile shop or you can buy them online, and these are a little bit more expensive. These are perfect for cutting glass because they've got these diamond wheeled cutters, and you can keep using these for quite a long time. If you use an Allen key and put it into here, you can keep twisting it round, loosening it up and twist it round so that you can get more like longevity out of your tile nippers. So for soaking and preparing your tiles, you'll also need a towel. So I've got an old towel here, and you'll need some warm water in a bowl, which I've got here. And you'll also need some containers. Now these look like takeaway or takeout containers, and you get about 8 of these for £1 or 8 for $1. So I always put all my tiles in here, and I just use the lids for other things because it's always good to have your tiles in these without the lids so that people can readily get the tiles that they need. So that's everything you need. Okay, so first of all, we are going to soak our tiles because tiles always come on these paper backing sheets, and we need to remove this paper backing sheets before we start to cut the tiles. Now, glass tiles, this is a quarter of a sheet. They usually come in around 225 tiles per sheet. This is a quarter of one. And then the ceramic ones, you get a little bit less. You get around, I think it's just under 200, 196, yeah, just under 200. And you can see also they're on a paper back in there. So what we do is we get some boiling, well, it was boiled, but now it's just gone a little bit warm. And what I like to do, because I usually buy big sheets and I usually buy lots of them, I just simply tear the sheets up into smaller bits and then I put them in the water. So we're just tearing them up. I'm going to do both of these at the same time. So just tear them all up, put them in the water, and then you just leave them to soak, and they usually take a couple of minutes to start coming off the sheet. So you should be able to start seeing them like gradually peel off. So we'll just wait a couple of minutes for those to peel off themselves. So it's been 2 minutes now, and you can see that they're starting to come off the backing sheet, which is great. So I usually just get all the brown paper into one hand and just literally have all the tiles resting in the water. So we'll take these off. And as you're knocking each tile next to each other, that's helping them all to come off quicker as well. Take those off. Make sure there's none left on the sheet. And that's everything. All right, so I'm going to put that to one side. And then what you need to do is you need to let them dry off. So you need to get an old towel, and you need to put them on the towel, but you need to make sure that they are not touching because they've got this very fine surface of glue here. So you don't want that little bit of glue to then stick to the other tiles. So you need to have them spaced out on your towel. And yeah, and then you can leave them to dry. And they usually take, in a normal temperature room, like room temperature, they'll take a couple of hours or something like that. You can always speed up the process by just tapping another towel on top, or you can use a hairdryer. If you've got a hairdryer handy and you need them really quick, you can just give them a quick hair dry and they'll all be nice and dry. So you can get ready to cut them. So yeah, so let's wait until these ones are dry. So when your tiles are dry, you can sort them out. So I've got two colours here. So I'm going to sort them out into the different trays. And that's just so everything's organised and you know where everything is. So we'll put all the blue ones in there. And we'll put these lovely pinky purpley ones in here. So we've soaked our tiles and we're now ready to cut. And I just want to say a quick word on safety first when you are cutting ceramic and glass tiles. Please make sure that you are wearing goggles because the little tiny pieces that come off of these as you're cutting can fly up into your face and into different directions. So you must have goggles on especially if you are inexperienced with cutting tiles. And a good tip is if you are working at a desk, so if you've got your materials on top of the desk, work cutting underneath the desk so that all the little pieces can fly up and hit the underneath side of the desk. And that's another extra safety precaution. If you can't do that for any reason, please do make sure that you protect around where you're working, because as I said, the little pieces are going to fly up and in different directions. And if you've got anything around, such as laptops or computers or anything fragile, these little pieces can fly up, so you want to protect your area. So put some kind of barrier. I use like spare pieces of wood or cardboard or anything that I've got lying around just to protect the area around me. So please, safety first, and then you can get ready to cut your tiles. So I'm going to show you how to cut these ceramic tiles. You can see that they've got the maker's mark on the bottom there, so that's obviously the bottom, and it's got those ridges there, so you know that that's the bottom and the smooth side is the top. And you're going to hold your nippers at the bottom, so not up here, you're going to hold them at the bottom, and then you're going to put your tile into the nippers edges here. And you're going to put it right on the edge there. So you're not going to put it all the way going across. That's going to be too much hard work. You're going to go right on the edge there. And then try and get it as straight as you possibly can. And then you're going to cut through. And this should give you a really nice straight cut. And if you want to go to quarters, then you just simply do the same thing again. So you put the nipper's teeth right in there. And you're going to cut. And don't worry if that happens, you can always use those bits. So don't worry, don't panic if it doesn't cut the way you want it to cut. You can always just make sure that you're keeping on going, because you can use those little bits. But let's try again here. So we're going to put that in there and we're going to go across. You see, there you go. You've got a much nicer cut there. You've got two nice little squares. So that's how to cut them into quarters. If you want to cut them into triangles, what you're going to do is place the tile nippers on the edge on the diagonal, and you're going to try and line that up with the edge of the tile there. So try and get that in a nice straight line going across. And again, you're not going to put all the nippers in there. It's too hard to do that. The nippers just won't go down. So you're going to put it on the edge and then you're going to cut. And you should get a nice triangle. Now you see we've got a little bit cut off the edge there and a little bit there. That's fine. We could tidy that one up quite nicely. But I'm just going to carry on showing you how to cut again if you want to create 4 little triangles out of one tile. So you're just going to cut across there. So you get 2 halves there. And then you're going to use this one. And you're going to cut across there. And if you get that little bit, like I said there, you can just nibble that off. And you can create a nice triangle. All right, so that's how to do that. So now I'm going to show you how to use the wheeled cutters and the glass tiles. So again, you want to hold your nippers near to the bottom, not up the top here, near to the bottom. And you're going to put your tile in between these 2 wheels here. So in between there. And this is just really, really easy. The glass nippers are so great to use. They're just so easy. So if you want to do a half tile there, you're just putting the 2 blades in the center there. And then you're going to hold the tile just up here and be really careful with your fingers with this. So put your fingers right up here and then you're going to cut. And that requires hardly any pressure at all. It's really super easy. And if you want to go into quarters, you just do the same thing again. So you're getting the tile halfway through there and you're just going to cut. So we'll just pick that one up from over there and we'll do the other side and we'll get some nice quarters. Oh, and it's gone into there. So now I'm going to show you how to do it in diagonals. So if you want to do a diagonal, you're going to put your wheeled nipper on the edge there. You're going to hold it over there and you're going to cut. Now, if you don't get a perfect triangle, don't worry. You could just do this again and then you can just nibble that one off to get a nice triangle. All right, and the same again, if you wanted to make that one smaller, you could put the wheels into there and cut across there. Now, you can use the other tile nippers for glass. So you can use these ones for glass. It's absolutely fine. It just takes a little bit more pressure on your hand, really. So again, making sure that your hand's right at the bottom there. And you're going to not go all the way across. You're going to just keep it on the edge there. Hold it tight and then push down and you'll get a nice clean cut halfway. And then if we want to make this one into quarters, we'll do the same thing. We'll put our nippers in there and we'll cut. And we'll do the same here. If you want to cut into crazy paving, that's really, really easy. I would start on the diagonal here and go for cutting 2 big triangles. And then you can do the same again and you can get 4 triangles out of 1 tile. But with crazy paving, you don't want to cut every single tile the same. So you don't want to cut every single tile into quarters. You want to just keep on. So you could maybe turn a tile round and get maybe like 2 cuts and then produce something like that. That's really good for crazy paving. That's really, really useful. So you've got one that's almost like a rectangle and 2 kind of irregular shapes. That's really good. So you don't have to worry too much with crazy paving. Just kind of move the nippers around, cut, and you'll get some nice triangles and some squares. But I would just do both. If you are looking for a random mix, I would do both this quarters and the crazy paving. But obviously it completely depends on what project you're doing. So safety first, please do remember to protect your eyes and your workstation around you and enjoy your mosaic project.